What are we doing? We are, nope. There we go. So this is 12x squared plus 13x minus 4 equals 0. And again, I don't know what the original looked like. I want everybody on one side. I want it set equal to 0. And I want them in order. Notice how it goes x squared, x, then the constant, then it equals 0. Are we okay with that? Okay, so the problem I think most of you are having is keeping your work neat without doing too much. Does that make sense? Let me go through this with you. So here's my parentheses, right? Equals 0. My factors of 12 are going to be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Yes. Factors of 4 are 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Okay, so the first thing I know that you guys had a problem with this, both the front and the back have multiple sets of factors, correct? So that's a lot more work than I can put one set in and I know that set has to be in there and the other set I just have to work through. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is we need to kind of got to take some educated guesses here. When I'm looking at my factors, if I'm being honest, 1 and 12 just kind of screams out to me that I think it's too big. Like I don't think it's going to be 1 and 12. Okay, I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume 1 and 12 doesn't work, okay? So that means I'm stuck with 6 and 2 and 3 and 4. And let's say I try 2 and 6, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is in the front, actually let me color code this so we know what's going on. Okay, so the front's going to be red. So I'm going to say this is 2x, 6x, right? I know that it's this set and this set combined give me my middle term, correct? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick out a set for the back. Who shall we start with, 1 and 4 or 2 and 2? Anybody have a preference? 2 and 2. It's easy because I don't have to switch it, right? So if I put a 2 here and a 2 here, the question is, does it work? So I get a 12x and a 4x. If I add them, I get 16. If I subtract them, I get 8. Is it the 13 that I need? No. Does 2 and 2 work with those front two numbers? No. I can't switch them, right? Because 2 and 2 doesn't matter where I put which one. So I'm going to now take this one out, right, and get rid of him, and that one, and get rid of this one. Okay? So now I'm going to try 1 and 4. And I'm going to put a 1 here and a 4 here. That gives me 6x and 8x. If I subtract, I get 2. If I add, I get 14. Does that work for me? No. So let me erase this back number again, right? Get rid of this one here. And get rid of the 4. And I'm going to write them in the other way. So I'm going to put the 4 here and the 1 out there. That gives me 24 and 2. Does that work? No, right? Did you notice what I did with that whole set? Did I ever touch the 2 and the 6? The set I wrote in red stayed there, did not move. Everybody in the back I kept switching around, right? That's what I mean when I want you guys to be methodical. Okay, because I think some of you know you have to switch the order, right? If I put them in one way and it doesn't work. You understand, switch them, right? But I think when you go to switch them, not only you're switching those back numbers, but you're also switching the front numbers. And without knowing it, you end up with the same problem again. So I think that's where we're losing some of trying to find it. Does that make sense? So I want you to be a little more methodical. So for this one, that doesn't work. I'm going to get rid of the back numbers this time, right? And since I've used all of the possibilities in the back at this moment, I'm now going to change the front. So we're going to get rid of the 2x and the 6x. And this time I'm going to put in, let's try 3x and 4x, right? Again, we can start with 2 and 2 because I only get to put that in once, right? So we're going to do 2 and 2. This is 8x, this is 6x. Adds the 14, subtracts the 2. That doesn't work, right? Since there's only one way to put it in, let's get rid of the 2's. Let's try 1 and 4. So we can do 1 here and 4 out there. That's 4x and 12x. That doesn't work, right? But I can switch them, so let's try switching them. Let's do 4 here and 1 out there. That's 16x and 3x. That one does work. Correct? All right, so now I have the order. Do you see how I was able to come to that conclusion? Because again, I didn't move 3 and 4. It stayed put. Does that make sense? I think that's what you guys are doing. Like, you're switching way too much, and it's making it harder to understand and where you need to be. So my recommendation is pick a set, put them in place, leave them. Do the rest. Okay? And it doesn't matter if it's front, back, wherever you're most comfortable. Pick a set and go. This would end up being, I want a positive 13, so I need a positive 4 and a negative 1. And then from there you can set them equal to 0 and solve. Are we okay with that? When we're looking at 12. 12 states. What does 12 state? 18x squared minus 23x minus 6 equals 0. Again, we're going to find all the factors. I don't know what the original problem looked like. Make sure it's set equal to 0. Make sure everyone's in order. 18 is going to be 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. 6 is going to be 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Okay? Again, if I had to make an educated guess, looking at what my back number is, my 6, I feel like 1 and 18 is a little large. I don't feel like 1 and 18 can bring me back down to a 23 in the middle. I feel like it's going to be, I could be wrong, but I'm going to skip 1 and 18 for the moment. Just because I feel like I think it's going to be too big. And I, again, could be very wrong, could be the one I want, but we're going to try everybody else first. So I'm going to try 2 and 9, right, because he's the first set up. 2x, 9x. Notice how I wrote them in, and I'm not going to move them until I'm done with everybody in the back. Okay? Let's start at the top. I have 1 and 6. That gives me 9x and 12x. Adds the 21, subtracts to 3. That doesn't work. So let's get rid of them and switch them around. Let's try 6 and 1. That's 54x and 2x. That's really not going to work, right? That's 56 and 52. That's no good for me. So it's not 1 and 6, okay? At least not with this set. Let's try 2 and 3. So 3 and 2. This is 18x. Nope, that's not 18x. I don't know why I put them in that way. I'm looking at the wrong set. This is 27x. Ooh, look, and 4x. I said, ooh, why? It gives me my 23. 27 minus 4 is going to give me my 23. I have my set. I just need to figure out my signs. I want a negative 23, so a negative 3 and a positive 2. And it's going to work. But you would do the same thing. You're going to sit there and you're going to methodically go through them. If 2 and 9 didn't work, after I went through all combinations, the 4 combinations there, I would take 2 and 9 out. I would put the next set in. If I did 3 and 6 and then it didn't work again, okay, I would take it out and say, maybe 1 and 18 was my answer. Then I would put in the 1 and 18, not move them, and work through all the combinations in the back until I got something that worked. Do we have any other questions on this topic for these two? Did that help? Do we understand it better now? Yes? All righty.